there is discovery. There is possibility. There is freedom.
Can you believe it? It's all over. Black Sails' fourth and final run came to an end this week as Flint and the pirates formed one last stand in hope to defeat Rogers and drive the English away from Nassau. When you get to a finale, especially if it's a show you've been following for many years, you want and you crave for it to end strongly and effectively. And I'm pleased to report that Black Sails sailed off into the sunset on a warm and moving note. Captain Flint, born from tragedy and intent to raise war across the world, found his happy ending as he was cast away to the very same estate that Thomas Hamilton was residing in. Toby Stephens from the very beginning has been the heart and soul of this series. His performances have been standout to the point where many of you out there, including me, were desperate for him to survive. And as soon as the episode opened, my hopes for that outcome vastly began to grow. I predicted that if Flint were to survive, he would end up at this mysterious estate in Savannah where English convicts were being used as labourers. It made sense. Wealthy families in England used this service, and Thomas Hamilton was never to us confirmed dead. Silver had his chat with Max way back in episode 4 regarding this very estate, and with Silver being who he is, you knew that he would want to check it out and have a plan ready in place. Silver had no care for Flint's war. All he wanted now was a life with Mardy. But actively going through with his plan, cutting Flint off at the cusp of achieving all he was fighting for, was a hard and painful process. He tried to kill Flint last week, but after having no choice but to reunite with him against their common enemy, he was at last for the first time able to see the world through Flint's eyes. It was a world where there was nothing left to lose, many voids to fill, and a purpose for his life to find. That was what the war was for Flint. Him fighting it was a continued meaning and a reminder for all he had lost. So when Silver thought he had lost Mardy, he understood Flint's mindset in a way that he never could before. His story came full circle in a way when he ran into that cook hiding below deck, which echoed back to how this entire story began. And instead of killing his once close friend, a choice that he didn't want to make, he pleaded with him to see reason and to let him help him in a way that Flint didn't think possible. Silver sent him back to the very place where his legend was born, and the anger, the anguish that fueled his ever-growing passion for the war disappeared within a second. As soon as he laid eyes on Thomas again, none of that mattered anymore. The music was perfection, and it nearly brought tears to my eyes to see Flint finally happy again. He was overcome with joy at the revelation that Thomas was alive, as the legend of Captain Flint was left buried along with that treasure. The episode itself was a tale of two halves, where the second was centred on wrapping up character arcs and focusing on the story's future. The first was electric in pace as the pirates battled Woodes Rogers for control over the high seas. The show has always been fantastic at showcasing these massive ship battles, and this finale was right up there with the best as Woodes Rogers charged right at the pirates in an effort to end them once and for all. Flint scaling the rigging and battling Billy proved to be a thrilling confrontation. Billy has garnered a lot of hate in the most recent weeks. It's not unwarranted, of course. He has betrayed his cause and everyone he knew, so it was fitting to see him square off one more time against the man whom he was determined to end. Tom Hopper has been great at showing his ever-growing resentment towards his former captain. His failure at turning Silver against him was his catalyst for disaster. We were made to think that he'd killed Mardy for a while there, so that if Rogers and Cole were to lose the fight, her loss would still accomplish the outcome he sought to achieve. But as Mardy said, her death would just unite them. And that leaves Woodes Rogers. It was so damn gratifying to see that bastard finally be defeated. I think I can speak for everyone when I say that we all wanted to see Rogers meet his overdue end. But there was no hanging, there was no keel hauling. there wasn't even a walk of the plank, which I thought could have been a possibility. No, there was just the ultimate humiliation. Woodes Rogers prided himself on his story, his legacy. So for him to witness firsthand it all come crashing down before his very eyes would have been so much harder to swallow than a bullet that we were all hoping for. Granted, I still wanted him to die, as he did deserve it for all of his heinous actions. But overall, I can live with him having experienced complete and total failure. Next time, Woods, maybe not be such a prick, yeah? In any case, bravo to Luke Roberts, who grew his villainy this year to unthinkable levels. Nassau, though, the island which this all began for, lived long and grew in prosperity. Featherstone became the new governor, with Max holding the power behind the scenes. Piracy was no more. Though as we ended the series, the art of piracy must live on, as the symbol that goes along with it, the Jolly Roger, is still remembered to this very day.
Get us underway.
My overall verdict for the series finale of Black Sails is a strong 9 out of 10. It was an excellent way to cap off this quite wonderful series. It's hard to please everyone with a story in its direction, and it's even harder to do that in the final episode. Nevertheless, I do believe that Black Sails ended on an epic note after giving us a taste of their Treasure Island story. I was surprised to see so many of our characters survive at the end of the day and to be given a hopeful future. Flint found his long-lost love with Thomas still being alive. Maddie, though initially didn't want anything to do with Silver, in the end stood by his side. Jack found his way back to Anne. Rogers was humiliated and cast aside. And finally, Nassau survived and grew with prosperity. Character growth has defined this series, where Silver's especially has been phenomenal to watch. Seriously, go back and watch him in the first season and you couldn't possibly imagine him morphing into the man we see here today. Black Sails, though, has been Flint's adventure. His tragedy created his legend and we followed his captivating journey all the way back to that Savannah estate. I don't care if he's done so much wrong in his life. I was rooting for Flint and I'm exceedingly happy that he was able to survive. Though, if I were to make one slight little change, I would have had Flint's scene be the closing moment for the show. Shift Jack and Nassau's future to before Flint and Silver's, but that is just my personal opinion. I'm a sucker for action scenes, so up there with my favourite moments from the finale was the battle at sea as Flint fought Billy and then helped Jack to defeat Rogers. Also, Silver's got some sweet ass moves like that deflect he pulled off on one of those redcoats. Flint must be a hell of a good teacher. And aside from that, I felt that Flint and Thomas's reunion was a touching way for the show to send off his character. His life has been ripe with chaos and destruction for too long, so he was overdue some peace and some happiness. The music again was a beautifully effective tool. It played over Flint and Silver's battle at the end of last week's episode, and it was used once more to terrific effect as the pirates finally overcame Rogers to leave him on his knees. It was such a feel-good moment, and I must have had a big cheesy grin on my face after the man was questioned at the opening of the episode. I love it when little predictions play out the way you could have hoped for, but let's not forget what we didn't see. Ben Gunn wasn't stranded, instead it was Billy, and no map, at least that we know of, was ever created. There are many years, of course, which split this story to that of Treasure Island, and we know shows always tend to mix it up a little here and there, so Billy being left on Skeleton Island was a welcome and deserved outcome for a man who garnered so much resentment. I thought he could have been killed off at one point, you know, but they decided to sentence him to madness and solitary on an island where he will remain for years to come. Sorry, not sorry, Billy, but you drew the short straw. At least, Ben Gunn will be pleased. To sign off with the main duo, Flint and Silver, or more so, Toby Stephens and Luke Arnold, have been the roots of this terrific series. They deserve the highest of praises and commendation, and I can't wait to see what work they will be going on to next. I'm still trying to get a few of my friends to even start this series. I wish it was more well known. And to my fellow brethren out there, keep fighting the good fight. Spread the word of Black Sails and the numbers are sure to join our ranks. And I want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you for your support on this series. It truly means the world. I hope you can stick around for what's next to come in the future, and be sure to keep me posted and let me know if you'd like me to review any shows you're watching in particular. Black Sails wise, expect a season 4 review and a top 10 moments video as soon as I can bring them to you. And with that, I hand over to you. What did you guys think of the series finale? Were you satisfied with how the show wrapped up? And what is your favourite moment in the history of the show? Let me know your thoughts and views down in the comments. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed this review. And I shall see you on the next one.
Ah!